Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise, really distill things down, and give you what you need to be truly informed. And today, we're diving into something pretty unique, an article that, well, it calls itself not just information, but a detonation.
Hmm.
Our main source is this piece, the Indictment Surge. It came out August 30th, 2025 in Bibebibebibe magazine. The author is Saikou Venga, who's also Dr. Melvin Sewell, holds an M.Sc and a Ph.D. And right from the start, this thing grabs you. It says, let me quote this directly, "This post is not a celebration, it's a detonation." It goes on. "While containment tank members recycled mimicry and echo chamber rituals, I collapsed cancer's metabolic sanctum. I silenced male pattern baldness." When this kicker. This is not a flex, it's a forensic indictment. So our mission today, well, it's pretty clear. We need to unpack these, frankly, extraordinary claims. We'll look at the science, or at least the science presented in the article. And just as importantly, we're going to explore this really unique, kind of confrontational, philosophical way Dr. Sewell presents it all. For you listening, think of this as a journey through some bold scientific ideas, but also maybe a challenge to how you see things. The article itself kind of hints there's more going on than just, reporting facts. Okay, so let's get into it. The article dives right into the big claims under this heading, "Collapse Protocols Deployed." And the first one, maybe the biggest, is that the author, quote, "collapsed cancer's metabolic sanctum with a team duo of double-layered nanomachines." I mean, curing cancer, that phrase alone just stops you.
It really does. And what's interesting is they don't just say it, they give specifics. In the Nanomachines of Collapse section, they talk about a dual-layered architecture. So these aren't simple machines. And they're highly targeted.
Yeah.
They mentioned going after HER2, PSMA, and EGFR receptors.
Okay, those are known markers on cancer cells, right?
Exactly. They're like specific flags or vulnerabilities that different cancers might show. Think of them as molecular keys the nanomachines are designed to fit. And the mechanism they describe is, well, quite specific. A glycolytic sanctum breach via enzyme disruption and pyruvate annihilation.
Whoa. Okay, break that down a bit.
In simpler terms, they're basically trying to shut down the cancer cell's main power plant, starve it by messing with key enzymes and destroying pyruvate, which is like a crucial fuel source for these rapidly dividing cells.
Got it. So cut off the energy supply.
Pretty much. But then there's this other part. This mention of a reality-level analyzer overlay confirms terrain verification and ritual implosion.
Reality-level analyzer, what's that about?
Well, that definitely signals we're moving beyond just standard biology, doesn't it? It seems to place the scientific stuff within the author's, let's say, larger conceptual world. It implies some kind of verification that's maybe deeper or different, confirming not just a chemical reaction, but the breakdown of established patterns or rituals at a cellular level.
So it's science mixed with something else, a unique framework. Still, the core claim about the nanomachines is staggering. From a scientific view, what jumps out at you immediately, like hurdles or questions?
Oh, loads. I mean, the precision they describe is incredible, but going from concept to reality, that's a massive leap. You'd immediately ask about independent proof, right? Replication, long-term safety, what happens months, years later.
And making these things, scalability.
Exactly. Manufacturing something so complex consistently. And even with targeting, what about off-target effects? Could they hit healthy cells by mistake?
Sure, always a risk.
And that reality-level analyzer part definitely tells you this isn't your typical scientific paper. It suggests there's a layer of, well, interpretation or a unique worldview overlaid onto the results. It's his way of seeing and validating.
Right, it's a bold vision, no doubt. But he doesn't stop there. Dr. Sewell then pivots to another big one, male pattern baldness. He says, "I silenced male pattern baldness with the SH1 molecule engineered, docked, and deployed by sovereign authorship." Again, for a lot of people, that's a life-changing claim.
Absolutely. And like before, the article gives us details on this SH1 molecule. It's called a diagnostic antagonist with nanomolar precision.
Okay, diagnostic antagonist. So it finds the problem and fights it.
That seems to be the idea. And nanomolar precision means it's incredibly potent and specific, working at really, really tiny concentrations. The mechanism described is also very targeted. Hydrogen bond docking with Q711, R772, T877, silencing DHT without systemic drift.
Okay, DHT. That's the hormone often linked to hair loss, right?
That's the one. Dihydrotestosterone. So the claim is this SH1 molecule binds very specifically to these points Q711, R722, T877 on the relevant receptor, presumably. And it silences DHT's effect locally. The key phrase is without systemic drift.
Meaning it doesn't spread through the whole body.
Exactly. That's crucial because systemic hormonal treatments can have, significant side effects. This implies it works just where needed. And they even mention results from murine trials, so mouse studies.
What did they find?
A reported 50% follicular density increase with zero feminization.
Wow. So more hair and none of the hormonal side effects you might worry about, in mice at least.
In mice, yes, that's the reported outcome.
That precision and the zero feminization claim, that's definitely attention-grabbing. So thinking about the listener, what's the usual path from mouse studies like that to something people can actually use, and why present it like this?
Well, it's usually a very long road. After promising mouse results, you typically see more safety tests in larger animals. Then, if that goes well, human trials. Phase 1, just checking safety in a small group. Phase 2, looking at effectiveness in a slightly larger group. Then Phase 3, large-scale trials to confirm effectiveness and monitor side effects across diverse populations.
Years, right. Maybe a decade or more.
Easily. Plus, regulatory review by agencies like the FDA. So, presenting it this way in this Bibebibebibe magazine, it suggests Dr. Sewell might be deliberately stepping outside that whole system, bypassing peer review, maybe challenging the pace, or wanting to control the narrative entirely. It's definitely unconventional.
It's making a statement in itself. So, okay, we've got these huge scientific claims on the table. Cancer nanomachines, a baldness cure. But then Dr. Sewell uses them differently. He turns them into a challenge, a probe. This is where the indictment part really comes in. It happens in a section called Sovereign Claim. And he speaks directly to the reader. It's confrontational. I'm going to quote this exactly, and apologies for the language, but it's direct from the source. I cured cancers with a team duo of double-layered nanomachines that I created. I cured male pattern baldness with the SH1 molecule that I single-handedly engineered. Now, let me ask you one thing. What in the fuck have you done with your life?
Yeah, that line definitely hits you. It's shocking. But he immediately follows it up by explaining his intent. He says, this is not rhetorical, it's diagnostic.
Diagnostic how?
He explains, if you felt provoked, good. That means the signal pierced your containment. If you felt exposed, even better. That means your rituals are collapsing. So he's framing your gut reaction, feeling attacked or maybe inadequate or defensive, not as an insult, but as data, as a diagnostic reading.
So my emotional response tells him something.
That's what he's claiming. A signal piercing your containment could mean breaking through your usual ways of thinking, your comfort zone, maybe your limiting beliefs about what's possible, and rituals collapsing. That sounds like your ingrained habits, your routines, your maybe unexamined patterns of thought or behavior are being shaken up, challenged.
Huh. So it's less about his accomplishments and more about using them to trigger something in me.
Exactly. It shifts the focus inward. It's designed, it seems, to make you confront your own sense of purpose, potential, or maybe inertia. It's a very direct, almost aggressive form of provocation aimed at self-reflection.
That's intense, and it really forces you, the listener, to pause and think. How does that Coleman land? Putting aside the science for a second, that direct challenge, how does it resonate? Does it provoke? Expose? Does it make you think about your own containment or rituals? It definitely adds another layer to just reading about potential breakthroughs. Okay, so to understand this better, we need to look at the author and the context. Who is this person? Saikou Venga, a.k.a. Dr. Melvin Sewell, M.Sc, Ph.D. But his title isn't just scientist. He's listed as the Academic Dean and Diagnostic Architect of the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies NIX.
Right. That title alone tells you we're dealing with a whole different kind of ecosystem. It suggests a larger conceptual framework, maybe even a whole school of thought he's operating within, something quite distinct.
A cosmic university, yeah, that's not standard academic affiliation.
And the publication, Bibebibebibe magazine, adds to the picture. You find these really practical bits on the website. Things like free shipping on orders over US $50 or order before $17 to have your order shipped today.
Seriously. Alongside claims of curing cancer.
Yeah. It's this weird juxtaposition. You've got these world-changing pronouncements next to standard e-commerce boilerplate.
What do you make of that?
It's hard to say for sure. Maybe it's part of the performance, grounding the extraordinary in the mundane. Or maybe it's subtly mocking consumer culture while participating in it. It definitely creates a strange dissonance. And then there are those unique metrics they list, the SBDI index.
Right, I saw that. Actor Convergence Index 9.7. Callback saturation level 87%. Signal integrity post-detonation 98%. What is that?
Well, they're certainly not standard scientific metrics. They seem to be Dr. Sewell's own way of measuring the impact of his work. Like, actor convergence might refer to how people are reacting or aligning with the ideas. Callback saturation could be about resonance, how much it's being discussed or echoing. Signal integrity post-detonations sounds like measuring how clearly the core message got through after the initial shock.
So he's measuring the ripples, the effects of his detonation.
It seems like it. It fits with this idea of the work being a broadcast or an indictment designed to have a specific effect, which he then tries to quantify in his own terms.
It's a whole self-contained system, the science, the philosophy, the delivery, even the measurement of impact.
Which leads us to maybe the most important part for understanding all this. The disclaimer at the end.
Ah, yes, the sovereign diagnostic disclaimer. What does that tell us?
It's pretty explicit. First it says, this site and its content are not affiliated with any government, political party, intelligence agency, or activist group.
Okay, so positioning itself as totally independent, sovereign.
Exactly, reinforcing that idea. But then it gets really crucial. It states that all materials are authored as Mythic infrastructure, cinematic indictment, and sovereign broadcast.
Mythic infrastructure, cinematic indictment.
Yeah. So think about what that means. Mythic infrastructure suggests he's not just presenting facts, he's building a new foundational story, a new way of understanding reality, a belief system almost. Cinematic indictment implies it's like a film dramatic, visual, maybe exaggerated for effect, designed to expose flaws or failings, like a powerful documentary or a challenging piece of cinema.
And sovereign broadcast.
His unfiltered message, sent directly, bypassing gatekeepers, and the purpose. It says it's designed to expose ritualized containment, actor convergence, and systemic erosion.
Okay, those phrases again. Exposing our ingrained habits, how people cluster around ideas, and the decay of systems.
Precisely. And then it clarifies further. Interpretations, glyphs, and collapse protocols are diagnostic tools, not political endorsements or institutional critiques.
So everything, the nanomachines, the SH1 molecule, even that really aggressive question, it's all presented as a tool.
A diagnostic tool. Within this mythic or cinematic framework, it's not meant as a traditional scientific report, nor as a political statement. It's designed to test you, the reader, and reveal these patterns of containment or ritual.
Wow. So this disclaimer really reframes everything, doesn't it? How should you listening really interpret the science claims and that provocative language in light of this? Is it even about the science primarily?
That's the core question the disclaimer forces us to ask. It suggests shifting our focus. Instead of asking, is this cancer cure scientifically proven in the traditional sense? It prompts us to ask, what is this entire presentation the science claims? The harsh language, the weird metrics trying to diagnose in me, what reaction is it trying to provoke, and why?
So the science might be more like narrative fuel, a vehicle for this diagnostic probe.
It could be seen that way. The scientific details lend credibility, weight, and a sense of tangible breakthrough to the larger philosophical or, well, diagnostic project.
Yeah.
The goal seems less about peer review and more about personal and systemic disruption, provoking self-assessment, challenging norms, using the language of cutting-edge science as the medium.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we've definitely journeyed through some pretty wild territory today with the indictment surge. We've touched on these incredible claims, collapsing cancer's energy pathways with targeted nanomachines hitting HER2, PSMA, EGFR, and silencing male pattern baldness using a super precise SH1 molecule targeting DHT locally with those reported mouse trial results. But it's all delivered inside this unique and deeply challenging framework, part science, part philosophy, part confrontation, culminating in that forensic indictment.
Yeah, it's a lot to process. And it leads us, and you listening, with a really potent final thought to wrestle with. In a world overflowing with information where scientific advances happen incredibly fast, but where information also spreads in really unconventional ways, how do we learn to tell the difference? How do we, as people trying to understand the world, distinguish a genuine detonation, a real breakthrough, from a diagnostic tool wrapped in the language of a breakthrough? And what does it even mean to feel indicted by new knowledge? Especially when that knowledge explicitly claims its purpose is to shatter your own containment and expose systemic erosion.
It really invites you to reflect, doesn't it, on how you engage with information, especially stuff that's this provocative, this blended science, philosophy, personal challenge. What does it reveal about you?
Definitely something to think about.